What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Chatting with Cheeze podcast. I'm your host, Fat Cheeze, and y'all already know the motto: no gimmicks, only the real. And this is episode 77. So before we get into it, y'all know what I need from y'all. Continue to smash that subscribe button. We are this close to 400 subscribers. I think we about 20 subscribers away. So go ahead and smash that subscribe button, man. Let's get to that 400 and keep this thing rolling, man. And also, when the content drops, do not forget to like the video and also share it out, man. And let's go ahead and jump right into it. So y'all know, hey, I got to get this printed on a shirt. I said every time it's the day for me to record, we get some breaking news or something big goes down, pause. But first, we gonna talk about something that happened this past weekend. Then we gonna jump into the breaking news. So first, we gonna start out with Shakur Stevenson putting on a masterclass on Saturday night in his big fight versus Teofimo Lopez. Great fight throughout. Shakur went out there and put on an absolute show, and I could not do an episode without talking about it. So let's dive right into it, man. Shakur Stevenson beat Teofimo Lopez by unanimous decision Saturday night at Madison Square Garden, winning Lopez's WBO junior welterweight title. Lopez tried to be aggressive early, but Stevenson's defense was on another level. Shakur controlled the fight with his jab, took away Lopez's rhythm, and kept countering him all night. As the rounds went on, Lopez kept swinging but couldn't land clean shots. Stevenson stayed calm, confident, and made Lopez miss over and over. The numbers tell the story. After 9 rounds, Lopez only landed 50 punches while Stevenson landed 119. Stevenson's defense, timing, and combos were simply too much. With the win, Shakur becomes a full division world champion and gets the biggest win of his career. He stays WBC lightweight champ and a unification fight with IBF champ Raymond Martello. Hopefully I'm pronouncing his name right. Raymond Martello could be next. Bigger fights may also be out there if Stevenson decides to move up to 147. So first of all, I'm going to start this out by saying great performance from Shakur Stevenson. I gave my prediction on the last episode. For those of you that watched it, y'all seen that I picked Shakur Stevenson to win. I said I felt that Shakur was ready for the moment. He had the defensive tactics, the right mindset going into the fight. And I just feel like Shakur Stevenson is one of the best boxers we have currently on the scene. What he did out there, what he did on Saturday night was nothing less than spectacular, a masterclass. Teofimo Lopez had no answers. He could not break that shield of Shakur Stevenson's defense, and Shakur killed him with the jab all night. You know what I'm saying? I just think he went in there with the right game plan. His corner, his grandfather being his trainer, they gave him the right mentality going into the fight. They came in there with the perfect game plan. He had Bud also in his corner, Terrence Crawford, giving him advice on things to do, and he put it on full display on Saturday night. It was nothing less than spectacular. You know what I'm saying? And I think I don't know if he plans on staying at 140. He said that if any other big matchups doesn't come up, he plans on going back to 135, but I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. There's nobody in the 135 or 140 division that want to see Shakur Stevenson, just because I think Shakur he's just figured it out. At the end of the day, people can complain and talk about boring all they want. Shakur Stevenson understands the assignment. What do we say in football? What do we say in basketball? What do we say in all sports? Defense wins championships. In boxing, defense wins fights. You can go out there and try to throw as many punches as you want, try to do all this extra stuff. If your defense is not up to par, you will not win. And Shakur Stevenson has figured that out. People could talk about the pillow hands. That jab killed Teofimo all night. And once he figured out, okay, I'm gonna put my foot, I'm gonna be on this front foot all night. I know you're going to try to lunge because Teofimo's looking for a knockout. I know you're going to try to lunge, and I'm going to kill you with this jab all night. And that's exactly what he did. And for all you guys out there talking about pillow hands, look at Teofimo's face after that fight and tell me if you think Shakur got pillow hands. That was a spectacular performance by Shakur. And like I said, I don't think anybody in that 135, 140 division really want to stand in front of him. So I don't know what the future holds. I like the idea of him and Ben. You seen the interaction between those two at the end of the fight, him and Conor Ben. I don't know if that may be something we could see in the future, but I believe that Shakur will have to go up to 147 if he wants that fight. You also could maybe see a possible Devin Haney. There's options out there, but it all depends on what Shakur wants to do. He's made it abundantly clear if there's not a big payday or a big fight out there for him at 140 that he plans on going to 135, but I don't see who wants to stand in front of him after witnessing what he just did. And I'm so glad that he put on that type of performance because this was the biggest fight of his career. A lot of people was questioning, was Shakur ready for the moment? And I said I felt he was ready for the moment all along. He's been calling out multiple guys. He hasn't been shy about guys that he wanted to fight. He's called out guys like Gervonta Tank Davis on multiple occasions, and he's been letting people know, hey, I'm ready for this moment if I'm given the opportunity. Teofimo gave him the opportunity, and he showed on the big stage what he can do. And for Teofimo's side of things, I don't think this diminishes Teo in any way. Did he have a bad performance? Absolutely, but sometimes, you can learn from losses like this. In the sport of boxing, we got to understand, and I always say this, I love Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather is my GOAT of boxing. I believe Floyd Mayweather is the greatest of all time, but I also always say that I believe Floyd Mayweather was a gift and a curse to boxing. He was a gift because his greatness, the things he can do in the ring, how great he was as far as selling fights and things like that, but he was a curse because by him going undefeated, now we have fighters coming up that believe that, and the fans that believe if a fighter loses one fight in a bad fashion or just loses in general, then that puts an end to their career. That's not true at all. I think Teofimo is a great fighter. I think he can bounce back. He just had a bad night and he just went up against a superior fighter whose levels above him in Shakur Stevenson. And also, Teofimo, if this happens to come across your desk or your feed or whatever, please, for the love of God, get you a new corner. Get you some new trainers. Remove your dad. Teofimo's dad did a horrible job on Saturday night, and he showed his true colors. For you to witness your son out there, being steps behind and getting whooped the way he was getting whooped, and every time he's coming to the corner, he has to hear you talk about you gonna be mad at yourself tomorrow morning and just hit him. And there was no adjustments being made, no adjustments at all from the corner. If you compared Teofimo's corner to Shakur's corner, it was levels from each other. Every time Shakur went to the corner, you heard his grandfather giving him tips. Hey, we see he doing this. This is how you can counter with this. Hey, how you feeling? How do you feel about this? Keep using a jab. That's what Shakur's grandfather was doing. On the other side, he's coming over to the corner having to hear about where's the eye of the tiger and you going to be mad at yourself in the morning. Come on, man. We got to stop it, bro. Stop it. Teofimo, get yourself a new corner. It's okay to let Pops know, hey, look, I appreciate everything you've done for me leading to this point. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's in my best interest that I find somebody that actually can train me properly and prepare me for these type of fights, because they did a horrible job, even as far as with the cut on Teofimo's eye. He's going in the corner. It's like they couldn't even get the cut to go to, to stop the bleeding properly, because he's standing up waiting for the next round and he has blood running down the side of his face. I just didn't like that at all. And then, when he's talking at the end, he's standing by himself. And even Shakur made a statement about after the fight, he went into the medical room or whatever, and Teofimo was in there by himself. It's like, that type of stuff can kill somebody's confidence. It could kill somebody's confidence to know that the people that's supposed to be rocking with you and supposed to be behind you every step of the way, they basically failed you. They failed Teofimo on Saturday. I didn't think he would win the fight regardless, but his corner absolutely failed him. So that's my opinion on that. I think Teofimo definitely could bounce back, but as far as Shakur's phenomenal. I wouldn't go as far as calling Shakur the face of boxing right now, but he's well on his way. And like I said, I don't believe anybody in that 135 division or 140 wants to stand in front of Shakur, because Shakur has figured it out. Shakur knows, hey, defense wins. If you can't break that barrier of his defense, you're gonna be in for a long night. And I'm so glad that Shakur didn't decide to go in there and try to prove these fans wrong, or these people that don't know boxing talking about his style is boring and all that. I'm glad Shakur didn't try to go in there and prove nobody wrong in exchange with Teofimo Lopez, because that probably wouldn't have ended too good for him. Stick to what has been winning you fights up to this point. Your defense, that jab, and accuracy, and making the right and throwing the right punches and combinations at the right time. Stick to what's got you here. Forget trying to prove people wrong and show people you ain't born. Hey, at the end of the day, people gonna think what they want to think regardless. Do what you got to do to win these fights, and Shakur did that, and I'm so happy for him. Congratulations, and I can't wait to see what's next. And Teofimo, keep your head up, bounce back, but get rid of that corner, man. Pops, he got to go. Moving on next. Now we're going to talk about the breaking news. I told you, I'm going to get this printed on the shirt. Every time I record break, I don't know, I'm going to figure something out. But it's so crazy because I was going to talk about this topic, and it actually just happened like 10 minutes ago before I started recording. So, James Harden is officially on the move. James Harden has just been traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers in a deal, moving him from the Clippers to Cleveland, and Cleveland sending over Darius Garland and a second-round pick. Crazy. Now, it was rumor all morning. Shams broke the report late last night. It might have been after the Clippers game. They lost to the Philadelphia 76ers, that there have been talks building up between the Cavs and James Harden. James Harden wanting to be moved, basically behind the scenes requesting a trade. They basically said it came due to contract. James Harden wanted a more lengthier contract than he was given from the Clippers, and a whole bunch of stuff. Long story short, they made the deal happen. The deal was officially done. James Harden is now on the move to Cleveland. So I'm going to read this, but the deal is already done. By the time this episode come out, y'all already know the deal was done. But I'm still going to read this and give y'all my thoughts on the move. So the trade has happened now. But ESPN Shams reports the Clippers are working with James Harden on a possible trade before Thursday's deadline, and the Cavaliers are interested. Y'all now know the trade has happened. Harden is 36, under contract this season with the player option next year. Even though the Clippers have been playing well, they may be open to moving him for a younger point guard. Reports say Cleveland would likely have to include Darius Garland in the deal. Harden is still producing, averaging about 25 points and 8 assists a game this season. Harden has missed the Clippers' last 2 games for personal reasons, and interestingly, the Cavs play the Clippers in LA on Wednesday, with Cleveland's front office expected to be there. Garland, the Cavs' former number 5 pick, is 26 years old and averaging 18 points and nearly 7 assists in an injury-filled season. If Cleveland trades Garland for Harden, it's clearly a win-now move, trying to maximize the next year or two with Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. The current roster, even with Jarrett Allen, hasn't gotten the Cavs past the second round. According to reports, Harden wants a deal longer than the 2-year, $82 million contract he signed with the Los Angeles Clippers this past offseason. A source with knowledge of the trade discussion is all about a contract extension. So basically, James Harden probably wants more money or wants a longer extension than what he was given from the Clippers. I don't know how this just came about so abundantly, because the Clippers have been hot. The Clippers have been one of the hottest teams these last couple of months, climbing back up into that play-in scenario. And James Harden and Kawhi have been playing great. Now, the writing has probably been on the wall with James Harden missing the last 2 games. He probably knew something was in the works and something was going down. Neither one, him or Kawhi, made the All-Star game. Kawhi has now been added to that. But just talking about James Harden, the move, it is officially done. James Harden is headed to Cleveland. Now, hear me out. And I know a lot of y'all going to have a lot of pushback on this, because We know James Harden plays phenomenal in the regular season, but when it comes to the playoffs, James Harden always somehow no shows. Last year, the Clippers made the playoffs. They got it to a game 7 versus Denver. He only ended up with 7 points. Hear me out, though. I like this move for the Cavaliers. The reason being, the Eastern Conference is wide open. Yes, Detroit looks good. They have the number 1 seed, but I'm not all the way sold on Detroit right now. I think Detroit could be had. You still have the New York Knicks, but the New York Knicks was in a slump. They finally getting themselves back together. They getting healthier, you know, and the Knicks are on a run right now, but I believe the Knicks could be had. Boston is still a team to watch. They just traded for Vucevic today from the Bulls, but Jaylen Brown by himself, I believe Boston can be had. I believe this move, sending James Harden to Cleveland for the Cavaliers, is a great move for them because the East is wide open, and if they can gel and get this thing together, James Harden is averaging 25 points a game, 8 assists. You know what I'm saying? You still have Donovan Mitchell. Evan Mobley and Jared Allen have kind of underperformed this year, but James Harden, we know, is a pass-first guy. He can get his shots and stuff off, but James Harden is going to look for that pick and roll and things like that. He's going to get those big guys involved. I like this move because now you can maximize the core roster that you have right now in Cleveland to try to compete in the East that is wide open. Now, I can't speak for what's going to happen when they get in the playoffs, but I'm saying for right now, Cleveland is currently 5th in the Eastern Conference. You add James Harden to this core, they possibly can get on a run. Cleveland, for some people, was the favorite this year in the East. You know, they've underperformed. Darius Garland has been dealing with a lingering toe issue all year. Now you swap that out for James Harden, who I think currently is a better player than Darius Garland. I like the move for Cleveland. I like it. Now, the question for them is going to be depth. They did get rid of DeAndre Hunter, sending him to Sacramento, but they did get in return Dennis Schroeder, who I think can be a spark plug off the bench, a backup point guard. You know what I'm saying? Give that second unit a spark. And they also got Keon Ellis, who's a young guard who they can bring off the bench and also give production with that second unit. I think this is a good move for Cleveland. I think you put James Harden with that core, pair him with Donovan Mitchell, who's still playing at a very elite level. Also, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. I think this could be good for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I honestly do. And I know for a lot of people, the James Harden playoff thing is still lingering and it still scares a lot of people. But I just look at it from a factor that the Eastern Conference is so wide open. If this would be the year right here that Cleveland could make that push. Because I think ultimately if they can't figure it out and make a push to get them to the next level, I ultimately think they're going to have to blow it up. And why not take a chance on a James Harden who's averaging 25 points a game, giving you 8 assists? Why not take a chance on that to try to get you over the hump before you have to make the ultimate decision and possibly blow the team up later on down the line? So I like the move. For the Clippers side of things, I think this is a clear indication that the Clippers probably seen that, you know, this year they know that they probably can't legitimately compete in the Western Conference. Yes, they've been on a nice run, but there's always a lot of question marks for them. And, you know, you don't know with Kawhi and, you know, his injury history, things like that. And I'm not wishing nothing on him. I'm just stating the facts. You feel what I'm saying? I think ultimately with this James Harden move, you're going to slowly but surely see the Clippers start to blow it up and rebuild. I think Kawhi will probably be on the move sooner than later. It wouldn't shock me if possibly this offseason we possibly see Kawhi get moved from LA. You know, all those other guys that they have, because this is a rebuild move to me. This is a rebuild move to me. I like Darius Garland. I think Darius Garland is solid when he's healthy. He had a very good year last year, averaging around 20 points. 45 from the field, 40% from 3, and averaging 6 assists. I like Darius Garland, but when you have a Cleveland team who's in a win-now mode, he's been dealing with the lingering toe injury all year. He hasn't played. I think the last time he played, somebody could fact-check me on this, but I think the last time Darius Garland played was like January 14th. So he's been dealing with that. So, and with those toe injuries, you never know how longer that those things can affect somebody. So I think this move for the Clippers was more so of a rebuild thing, and I think more for Cleveland, it's to win now. But all in all, if I had to grade the James Harden trade, I would give it probably like a B. I would give it a B for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I like it a lot. Now the question is Cleveland going to be is Cleveland going to be willing to give James Harden the contract he's looking for? But like I said, I think being as though James Harden's game is not predicated on athleticism, I think that James Harden is somebody that we could see playing into their late 30s, early 40s. I very much think that, and his game, he's shown you this year that his game is not diminishing. So I like the move, man. I really do. I like the move for Cleveland, and I think if James Harden can come in there and continue to do what he's been doing throughout the season, I think we could see Cleveland in a chance. I could think we could see Cleveland have a legitimate shot to compete to go to the NBA Finals, depending on what he does in the playoffs. Listen, I know what a lot of y'all gonna say. He's a playoff choker. I get it. I wholeheartedly get it. But you gotta call a spade a spade. We know what he does in the regular season. You get him with Donovan Mitchell and that team. If Evan Mobley and Jared Allen can pull their games up, play better than they have been, hey, I like the move for Cleveland. But y'all comment down low and let me know what y'all think. James Harden has been traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Darius Garland, the second-round pick, headed to the Clippers. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the trade. Who won? Was it a good move for Cleveland? Do you think it was a bad move? Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. I would love to hear y'all opinion on it. Moving on next to the next topic. So I didn't give it to y'all last week because I was contemplating, right? So I said this is the week. This is the only week, honestly, because this is the only episode I'm dropping this week. But I made a promise to y'all that I would give y'all my Super Bowl prediction this week, and I went. It was tough for me. I was going back and forth with what direction I wanted to go in, but I finally made my decision, and I'm gonna rock with it. So for my Super Bowl prediction for Super Bowl 60 this year, I'm gonna go with the New England Patriots. I think the New England Patriots going in and win that ball game. I think it's going to be a close ball game. My predicting score, I'm going to go 28-21 New England. And the reason why I'm going New England, and I understand Drake May hasn't played that good in the playoffs this season, these 3 playoff games. He did have a good game against Denver, but that was mostly on the ground once the inclement weather started coming down. But Drake May hasn't played that good. He has gone up against 2 elite defenses his last 2 playoff games, so we have to factor that in. But I think what a lot of people are not really recognizing, this Patriots defense has been on fire. And I think that the Patriots defense, they have the personnel to go out there and match up with what Seattle has offensively. You have Christian Gonzalez, who's one of the best corners in football. You match him with Jackson Smith and Jigba. If I'm the Patriots, I'm having him follow Jackson Smith and Jigba the entire game. You match him up with Jackson Smith and Jigba. You also have Carlton Davis, who's solid. You match him up with the other receivers. They got guys like Raheem, even though he's a burner. Guys like Raheem Shaheed, they have guys that can match up, but you have big Milton Williams in the player on that defensive line that could slow down that running attack from Walker. You also have Christian Barmore. You have K'Lavon Chaisson, who's been playing some great ball, for the Patriots on that defense. Harold Landry, linebacker. They have a defensive personnel that I believe can go out there and give Sam Darnold a hard time. If Drake May can just make the plays at the right time when they're presented to him, I think the Patriots can win this ball game. But they're going to need guys to step up. They're going to need Keyshawn Boutte to step up. They're going to need that run game to be going. Ramondre Stevenson, Trayvon Henderson. They're going to need Mac Hollins to make plays when there's available. They're going to need Stephon Diggs to try to go back in the time machine. The way he looked against Buffalo early this year, they're going to need that version of Stephon Diggs. I think that if Drake May can go out there don't turn the ball over. Don't turn the ball over. I think if Drake May can go out there and not make any crucial mistakes, take the plays that's given to him. If that running game is going, I think the Patriots can win in a close ball game, and I'm going with the New England Patriots. I honestly am, and I know the Patriots have been in some low-scoring ball games. 15 points they've averaged through these three playoff games. But you got to think it was inclement weather in Denver. I think it was inclement weather when they played the Texans in the divisional round, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was raining. Yeah, matter of fact, it was raining. So out of their last 3 games have been inclement weather. So we have to factor that in. But Drake May has been playing some good football this year. They've been the most consistent team. I picked them to come out of the AFC and go to the Super Bowl, and I was right on that. So now I'm gonna pick them to win the Super Bowl, and I hope I'm right on that. And honestly, this one was a hard decision for me because I didn't know, because I really like what I'm seeing from Seattle. That defense is on fire in Seattle. Sam Darnold has been playing out of his mind. I'm so happy for Sam Darnold. Jackson Smith and Jigba has been showing everybody why he's the best wide receiver in football this year. Kenneth Walker, Walker in the backfield has been playing out of his mind these playoff games. I like Seattle. It was a tough one, and Seattle's probably going in there with the mindset they trying to get their get back from, even though it's completely different rosters. But they trying to get their get back from what happened when they didn't run the football with Marshawn Lynch against the Patriots. Them Super Bowls back. You know what I'm saying? But I just went with New England because they've been the most consistent. I think that defense has been getting slept on. And that's just my prediction. Y'all let me know how y'all feel. I hear a lot of people going with Seattle. Like I said, I may be wrong. And it would not shock me at all if Seattle didn't go out there and win that game. But I'm hearing people say Seattle going to dominate them and things like that. That right there kind of shows me I don't think people been paying that much attention to the Patriots. But, people been using all these excuses saying they cupcake schedule and all that. Hey, they've been winning the games they supposed to win, and they got them in the Super Bowl. So that is my Super Bowl prediction. I'm going with the New England Patriots to win the whole thing. And y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Give me y'all Super Bowl prediction. Y'all going with Seattle? Y'all agree with me? Y'all going with New England? I would love to hear what y'all think on this topic. And I can't wait to hear back from y'all. And I can't wait to just watch the Super Bowl, man. It's like soon as the season start, you be so excited, and in a blink of an eye, it's over. Then we gotta wait 6-7 months, all the way in September until we be able to watch football again. So, hopefully this last one is very enjoyable and give us something to, have fun with until next season start, man. But that's it for this episode, man. Episode 77. Y'all know where to find me each and every week. Y'all know I appreciate y'all for topping in with me each and every week. Do not forget what I said, man. Continue to smash that subscribe button. We are on our way to 400 subscribers. We almost there. Do not forget, when the content drops, like the video, share the content, and let's keep building this thing up, man. Y'all know I appreciate y'all, and I see y'all next time.